have been around, there's been concern about how often we use those screens.
Yeah, that's valid. But as Jennifer Austin found out, when it comes to children, there's another question we should be asking.
Let me introduce you to my friend, Blippi.
Hey, it's me, Blippi.
Blippi and his colleagues in the crowded field that is children's programming are the reason laundry gets done in my house, the dishes done, dinner on the table, anything for which a parent just needs a break. If you can relate, maybe you also share my guilt.
So what could the magic word be?
You've likely heard the recommendations for limiting screen time for kids. But listen to this. When it comes to screens, there's something that researchers say should be considered more than time.
Content. Absolutely content.
All screen time is not created equal.
Deborah Nichols at Purdue and Eric Rasmussen at Texas Tech have spent their careers studying what media does to children. They're also parents themselves and say if you're concentrating solely on screen time limits, reconsider.
In my mind, those have the focus in the wrong place.
The American Academy of Pediatrics changing its recommendations in 2016. Instead of setting a guideline for specific time limits, they recommend looking at the, quote, quality of interactions with digital media.
We don't just sit down and mindlessly watch. We select content that's appropriate and high quality.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor.
Anything on PBS is a good bet, but there are other ways to tell you're turning on good content. Watch this clip from Nickelodeon's Blue's Clues. Notice how slow it seems.
And a surfboard.
What's something you can do at the beach?
That is intentional.
Kids learn when they have time to think about it, right? So all the screen changes and flashing lights and loud noises, that gets their attention, but it doesn't necessarily translate to comprehension.
Curious George. I love
Yeah.
George. He's a good one.
Strong on the PBS Kids app. So the takeaway for me is not, hey, if they're watching Blue's Clues or Daniel Tiger, you can set them in front of a screen for 4 hours. Let's start thinking about this as caregivers, thinking of screens as tools rather than just something bad that I shouldn't let my kids be doing. It can be good. There are a lot of ways that you can use that, and it can actually benefit your kids. So just something to think about.
Are we saying Blippi maybe not the best in terms of entertainment?
We love Blippi in my house, and I did ask them this question. They're big fans of Daniel Tiger, Blue's Clues. Here's the thing, Blippi has educational themes, and another thing they spoke about that didn't make it into the story is when you have an idea you want to get across, repetition is really big for kids, and Blippi does that.
Yes.
But Blippi is Blippi! So you
Yes.
can make your own choice, parents. But we still watch Blippi in my house.
Blippi. We're a Blippi house too. YouTube Kids though, we're trying to cut out because it just is continuous scrolling and it's weird content
And
sometimes.
unboxing videos and kids playing with toys.
We've banned
strange.
those. in
Yeah.
my